We're live? All right. I'm Joe Riccio. Welcome to Coma, My 70s Kitchen. Brought to you live tonight from My 70s Kitchen, where anything can happen. It's just a free-for-all. So basically, what I've learned over doing this the last few times is to choose things that basically require not a lot of maintenance. I like cooking things that you can pretty much do all the prep during the day and just be done with it. And when it comes time to actually cook, you just assemble it and everything's fine. So basically, I decided that, I didn't see anybody else out there, really doing any tailgate shows for Super Bowl 56, which is 2022. I figured I'd get the jump on that. Nobody's doing that. We're the first ones. My predictions. I say the Detroit Wolverines take it, led by Geppetto Manning. That's the third Manning that nobody knows about. He's going to come out of nowhere this year and have a banner year. Geppetto Manning, watch for him. Game day. Or just want to make some nachos. I think the most important element, basically, you can make nachos with anything. You can make it with beef, shrimp, chicken, tofu if you want, whatever. I like to make it with chili. Now, this chili we're using today is actually kind of special. If you've ever been to Terlingua Barbecue in Portland, they do probably the best brisket, in my opinion, in the entire state, probably the entire Northeast, maybe the entire world. I'm not sure. And I went there not too long ago, and I inadvertently learned about what happens when you don't read the menu and you get overconfident. And what I essentially did, I sort of accidentally ordered myself, was basically an entire half a brisket, which I think people assumed was for everybody else at the table. It was not. So I was left with basically 4 to-go containers. I ate two pieces, and I was like, okay, I have 4 to-go containers full of brisket. What am I going to do? Bring them home. And the next day I was trying to figure it out. I'm like, there's no way I can actually eat all this brisket right now. So I decided to make a chili with this delicious smoked brisket. I got some beans. I actually did these. I've recently kind of started playing around a little bit with the Instant Pot, which I like for chili because you can use dried beans and you don't have to soak them overnight. You can actually just cook them straight in. So I chopped up I cooked the beans, chopped up the brisket. In here you've got, your freshly toasted ground cumin, lots of chili powder, Mexican oregano, usual chili. I guess this could be a Texas style chili. I'm not sure what makes each of them which regionally, but it is delicious. You get these really nice. What's really good about it is these nice big chunks of brisket in there. Those are delicious. You want to hold on to those. Mm-hmm.
Show me again.
Show me again. Show you again?
Yeah.
You want one?
Hold it right up to the camera.
This brisket's awesome, whether you just have it at Terlingua or you have it turned into something completely different. And now we're going to make nachos with it. So, I don't see what gets any worse when you melt a bunch of cheese on it. Are we happy? Do we have a focused shot? Can I eat this? Okay, that's delicious. So,
Before we started.
Yep. Before we get started, I just want to give a shout out to Dunstan Tap Table. The show today is brought to you by them. They're out in Scarborough. You can check them out at dunstantapandtable.com. We love them and we appreciate it. As I said, we're making nachos. I know before anybody says anything, yes, it's easy to make your own tortilla chips and they are delicious. Sometimes you just don't feel like it. Yes, it's easy, but anytime you have to kind of get out, deal with frying oil and I just didn't feel like it. So I tried to find Montecito Roadhouse tortilla chips, which I usually really like. I was told, I went to Rosemont next door. I was told that they are out of business. I don't know if that's true or not. If you know, well, let me know. But anyway, long story short, I couldn't find them. So I went with Seventies, which are a Frito-Lay product, but at least they're actually from Mexico. I went for the most robust chip I could find. So we have the chips. We've got the chili. I have a blend here of essentially pepper jack, cheddar, and a little Colby Jack cheese. So a 3 cheese experience. After the fact, I'm going to top it with a little bit of queso fresco just to give it a little kind of freshness and brightness, a little more salt to it. In the cook, we got some really nice pickled jalapenos we made earlier. Pickled these in vinegar and garlic and sugar and salt. They're really spicy and really delicious. I've got a salsa here that I'm going to hit it with after the fact. So this isn't your basic sort of pico de gallo style salsa. It's a little more of a wet, a dipping, salsa. I like to do it. I add a little bit of a mint and just a hint of fish sauce to it because, I mean, you get that umami and a little bit of salt and you don't really notice the flavor so much, but like it gives a little bit of depth. And you've got, cilantro, tomato, lime juice, a little olive oil, really basic. And a lot of these things, I mean, for nacho purists, these might be some infuriating things that I'm doing, and I'm okay with that because it's nachos. For instance, because one of my favorite things is in the morning, I like to make chilaquiles with the leftover nachos, which is basically you take the chips that are already cooked, everything, and then you fry them in a pan with a bunch of eggs and top it with some sour cream, and it's awesome. It's like one of the best breakfasts that one can eat. So I don't add any of like the salsa. I like to add the salsa and the other things sort of individually to each piece, to each chip. That way they don't get, that way it won't mess up the sauteing experience tomorrow. Obviously, if you put like avocado and stuff on it, that's going to get messed up. So I sort of killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Usually you have sour cream and you have guacamole. I went ahead and made an avocado crema. This is avocado, Salvadoran crema, which is a blend of heavy cream, sour cream, and cream cheese. Get some jalapenos in there, cilantro, lime, and lots of avocado. So basically we have this nice puree, which is absolutely delicious. Just kind of, like I said, I like to go individually on each chip. Again, presentation wise, the corner pub, I mean, I'm into it. I love the, the plastic ramekins just jammed in, one with salsa, one with sour cream, one with guac. I'll tear that shit up all day. But here, when you have the option, why not just do things that, in a way that makes them more convenient and gets you set up for a damn good breakfast. So should we assemble nachos? Do anybody have any questions about what nachos are?
Do we have a live chat going? I don't know if we have a live chat going. Chat is disabled for live stream.
Oh, it's usually good to have a chat if people are. I mean, not that's me being very presumptuous that somebody would want to say something.
Well, it's temporarily disabled. I apologize.
Well, okay. So will it be enabled at some point? No, that's just not happening. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, so if you're watching, you just want to just call me or email me or just message me, whatever. We'll get it figured out if you want me to answer any questions. I'm gonna start assembling some nachos. Basically, baking tray, little silpat. What we're gonna do is just lay out some foundation here. Again, we're making nachos. This isn't food to me. As long as it tastes good and smells good, chef's table already exists. So you can leave all the pretty food to them. And I'll just make some functional food over here. So I think this layer is kind of important because this tends to be the one that has the potential sometimes to get a little more soggy. So, all right, nacho chips. And then we're going to hit it with a bunch of chili. Because this chili's fucking awesome. Let me just tell you right now. Oh, and while the nachos are cooking, we're going to have a fun little Jarritos tasting because Jarritos is the only soda that I like. Not a big soda guy. I like, water, black coffee, wine. I feel like if I drank soda, I'd be like dead. Like if I was somebody who's like, oh, I'm so thirsty, give me a Pepsi. I feel like I'd just be in horrible shape. Okay, next we're gonna hit it with a layer of our nice cheese. You don't have to skimp. There's no grown-ups around to tell us how much cheese we can or cannot use. Then we're gonna do a layer. I have a spoon. Let's use my hands. Let's get some pickled jalapenos going off in here. These are the little bites that are like, wow. they don't start super spicy. But believe you me, if I shoved my hands into my eyes right now, it wouldn't go well at all for me. It would go terribly. Okay. Now it's time to repeat. Look at how much fun. You can go ahead and start making these now for Super Bowl 56. Just, assemble the nachos, then freeze them, then see what happens. I don't know where that came from. Earlier, I was just like, fuck it. You know what? Game day. We missed the last Super Bowl. So, do things really matter anymore? I mean,
Why didn't we do it last weekend?
Because I didn't fucking feel like it. I was having a bad day. Was that why? I think I was. I was like, I could do a show, or I think maybe I'll just take a Klonopin and stay in bed. Let's see. I did watch the Super Bowl when that was on. I watched it streaming, which was a laugh riot by myself. Always a good time. A lot of things different this year. The nice thing about watching it streaming is I could just, every time the commercials or the halftime show comes on, I could just go do something else while leaving it open so I could tell when all that crap was over and then go back. I did notice that they had this whole like hologram Vince Lombardi thing happening this year, which they showed twice inadvertently. They showed in the beginning, and then they showed it as like part of something else, and maybe hope people didn't remember they'd already seen it. I don't really know. So next year, I'm predicting that as Geppetto Manning marches his Detroit Wolverines down the field, I'm predicting that maybe a hologram Al Pacino as Tony D'Amato doing his character from Any Given Sunday. Why not? That's a rousing speech. I feel like that'd be a nice follow-up to Lombardi. I'm going to do jalapenos this time because I think we're going to cheese this, and I think it's going to go in. These are two these are pretty epic layers, don't you think? Like, I don't think you need a third layer of this. I think that would be kind of crazy. We're going to cheese it, obviously.
Would you recommend a fork for this?
I think that nachos, when it comes to utensils, just have a fork ready. But you should be able to have at least a few chips you can kind of do by hand. Well, we're going to give it a try. Yes, we are. Gonna give it a try. Yeah. The beauty of nachos is I remember even in high school, I remember taking Tostitos and putting paste salsa on them and American cheese and putting them in the microwave. And you know what? That was still pretty damn good. Even though that was, it was terrible, but it was still kind of delightful. So yeah, here's our just big pile. And then we're going to deal with salsa and hot sauce and everything after the fact. So I'm putting this in a 350-degree oven. Oh, yeah. Let that get happy. Kill this guy here. I already killed it. That's good chili. That chili's delightful. All right, so now as a little bonus, Jarritos. This was originated in the 1950s in Mexico. It is made with real sugar. It's funny, the original flavor of Jarritos, in case you know, was actually coffee. Not as popular as they hoped it to be, and they started doing some other different styles. I figured, I get out my my burgundy glass here to get the, we want to make sure we get the full experience. I thought, and all their whole deal is all the fruit comes from different places. Like the mandarins come from their their secret grove in the Yucatan. The tamarind comes from Oaxaca. So we're going to start with the Jarritos tamarind here because I think it's going to be the most tart, probably the least. I mean, they're all kind of sweet, but you know, you want to know. I think that all flavors of Jarritos are going to go well with nachos. I mean, tamarind soda, that's actually pretty fucking cool, right? That's actually awesome. I mean, you figure tamarind, like, I'm pretty sure that's essentially like the driving flavor in like Dr. Pepper, right? Like, you always get like sort of tamarindy, black peppery notes in that. You know what? That is infinitely crushable. It's not cloyingly sweet. That's a delicious soda. We love the tamarind. All right, moving. What's that?
Where'd you get this?
I got these at Hannaford. Actually, I'm sorry. I got these at the Bodega Latina in Portland. You can actually get them at Hannaford usually. You never know. It's like with most things these days. Like every time I expect to go get Jarritos, like they only have the Goya soda. The Goya soda is not as good. The coconut soda tastes okay from Goya, but they use high fructose corn syrup, and Jarritos does not. So we are now going to move on to the lime, which is from Colina, which is where they source the limes. I love that they actually talk about where all the different fruit comes from for their soda. And I mean, I don't know. I would never bother to fact check. I'll just believe them. I'll take their word for it. I don't know what the actual is. This is the lime flavor. We love that sort of day glow, reminiscent of the dew of the mountains, not the coat. Smells delicious. These sodas are good. I like Jarritos. I don't really know what possessed me to decide that I wanted to taste all the flavors in front of the camera, but like a fresh mountain spring, you know? It's got slightly, again, not cloying sweet, a little bit of Gatorade-y kind of notes to it. Which makes sense because of the color. All right. Now it's time for grapefruit. All right. The grapefruits come from Veracruz. Can't have too much grapefruit. You know, if you're on your cholesterol medication, they say I could drop dead from too much grapefruit. I'm sorry if you want to like write something mean right now and whatever. You can't actually do that. I usually would prefer to give you that option, but if you want to say something mean, just send it to me directly. It's fine. I might not even think it's that mean. Look at that. The tulip glass really unlocks the aromas. I was like, where are these from? These grape, they're definitely Veracruz. That's more in the nose than your California or wherever. That tastes like Fresca, like good Fresca. All these taste like good versions of American soft drinks. It's funny we're doing soft drinks. I feel like we should be chasing each of these with a shot of tequila, but we didn't prepare for that. Also, that makes it go from costing $6 to $600. So it's a little bit different. We don't have that kind of budget, but if you want to help out our budget and get our tequila tasting going, go check out our Patreon. Patreon.com/Food-Coma podcast. Come on, guys. We love you. Show a little love and help us continue to support production and publish the cookbook that we're all excited about. Right, Chris? That's right. We're very excited. So then I can write about soda. No, the cookbook will basically be, any recipes from the show plus probably 40 other ones. It's just going to be it's going to have the cookbook will definitely be part novel, part cookbook. I don't know what the protagonist. Think Gilgamesh. Ulysses. Think guys like that. And then you have the basic idea. These pineapples that go in the Jarritos are from Tabasco, not the sauce, from the place. So this is pineapple Jarritos. Now to do that, I'm just gonna poke my head in the oven, See how our nachos are doing. Oh, they're coming. Basically, by the time we finish, it's going to be nacho time. These sodas are going to be awesome with nachos. I mean, it's weird when you just let yourself enjoy something that just tastes good. I mean, I think a lot of times when everybody starts drinking alcohol, it's like you get to that point where you're like, it has to have booze in it. Like, I'm not allowed to just enjoy something that's flavored with sugar. I like that. That's my least favorite. More because I guess I'm not as really into the idea of a pineapple soda. Now, the one that I usually get in any setting, classic from their hidden, that I won't bring up where the Mandarin Grove is because I don't want the cartel showing up here and breaking down the door. But mandarins from the Yucatan, Jarritos mandarin. This is my go-to anytime I see it in the cooler. I think it's definitely the sweetest of all of them, but the flavor is really good. It beats the hell out of an orange crush. I mean, don't you want a Fanta? You may want a Fanta still, but I don't know. Why bother? So there you have it. Jarritos. All right. What do you think, Chris? I'm gonna give it like 2 more minutes. Just a bubble. I mean, it's like technically melted. I mean, only problem with the soda tasting is now I'm gonna burp. That's just how it goes. You know. That's why I don't drink the soda. But I've decided to do 5 of them today. We've actually got a few hot sauces, especially a little shout out to Evan's Rockin' Hot Sauce. Evan's been a guest on the podcast, and his hot sauce is delicious. It's kind of fruity. Then I've got one of my other favorites, the Yucateco Chipotle. I like a little smokiness and everything. Then if you just like fruity habanero flavor with a nice amount of kick to it, the Yucateco Green. That's a perpetual favorite. I will do that. You're welcome. This is normally the time we do a little Q&A. Can you tell if people are watching? Or is it 5? 7. Hey, you know what? That's not counting you. That's 6 people on their Saturday night joining us here in my wonderful home. All right. I think the cheesy melty time is. I think it's high time. Okay. What do you think, huh? Yeah. Oh yeah. Whoa. You know what would be the worst? Is if I dropped these all over the fucking ground right now. That would be the worst. All right. Nachos, right? Now, I'm going to play a game called Don't Touch the Edge of That, even though I'm sure I will burn myself at some point. So, I mean, look, it's a good thing I invented nachos. You know, the day I decided to put some meat on some tortilla chips and melt some cheese, people really took to that, and they've been doing it all over the world since. So you're welcome. I'm happy that I was, had my thinking cap on that day. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to sort of search around a little. These are hot. These are nice and hot. If we weren't live, I could be smart about this and let them cool. I mean, that's a chip, right? You got your beans, you got your cheese. I don't know if there's a jalapeno hanging out under there or not. Now, what I'm going to do for my bite, you can kind of hit it with a little bit of cooling a little bit of the crema, like so. And a little bit of the salsa. And then just a touch of hot sauce. Then it's going in. A kiss of Evan's rockin' hot sauce. You ready? I'm gonna burn myself. Okay, those are some of the best nachos I've ever had. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I mean, why are they the best nachos I've ever had? Because they're made with ridiculous chili that's made with ridiculous brisket that's smoked by Plenty Reynolds at Terlingua, who gets up every morning and, you know, how much effort goes into actually the basis for this. But this is just regular ground beef chili. I mean, the nachos would be as such, but because it's so good. And Terlingua was great because I used to work there. I was part of the original staff there. You probably came to see me on Margariccio Monday. I probably got you shit-faced. In one case, that family, I'm sorry about your mom that you had to carry out. I didn't mean to. I should have told her a third one was a terrible idea. But Terlingua is now reopened in a much bigger space where Silly's was. And it's like a small city. It's like a small town, especially in times of COVID. Like there's all these different places you can go out in the back. But the cool thing is they have a market. And they're doing a lot of their barbecue to go. And we're actually going to do some collaborations with them in the future, the near future. And we'll go more into that. But go check them out. Check out the new space. You can get your Evans hot sauce there. Oh man, I want a jalapeno. Oh yeah. This is this doesn't suck. I can tell you that. I made an awful lot. Jalapenos are awesome. You know what? It's called a little bit of the bubbly. You know what? I'm a Mandarin guy, but I think I might be converted to the tamarind. Chris, you're going to taste all these when I finish up. Tamarind Jarritos and a massive plate of delightful brisket nachos. God damn. I mean, what else am I going to say? Oh, yeah. That's good. And definitely break out your best stemware. You know, you deserve it. You deserve it. So, essentially, that's what it is. Everybody has their own style when it comes to nachos. It's all about just chips. And, you know, when you get chips, if you aren't going to make your own, you actually be careful when you make your own. Sometimes I've made them. You have to be careful about what corn tortillas you use. Because if they're too thin and you make something heavy with like a chili like this, they tend to get really soggy. I mean, which is fine. If you mess up like that, just turn them into instant chilaquiles and everything's fine. So think about how thick the tortillas are. And also if you're going to buy them as well, don't get the thin and crispy restaurant style. You know, you want to make sure you have some that are robust. Now these Santitos, the white corn, you can just kind of tell. If you hold the bag and just start breaking them in the store, you'll be able to tell. Of course, put that bag back and then take a new bag for yourself. But that's the best way to test it for your nachos. And there's somebody out there who loves broken chips. He'll come along and be like, jackpot, look at this shit. So that's your basics, you know. Lay your foundation, slap on your meat, slap on some cheese, slap on something spicy and pickly. You can also do radishes, pickled radishes. You do radicas. Anything pickled, really. Everybody likes pickled shit. I like the jalapenos. I think they're delicious. So jalapenos, and then chips, meat, cheese, jalapenos, nacho time. I do highly recommend you try the avocado crema. Like I said, yeah. Look at how pretty. You know, so you get the lime juice in there, which keeps it nice and green. But it's just ripe avocado, cilantro, serrano or jalapeno chili, salt, and then you could use sour cream. And lately for sour cream, I've been using the Faye, the Greek yogurt. They're doing actually their own sour cream now, which is good. But if you go to the bodega and get the Mexican or the Salvadoran or the Honduran crema, and then a little lime juice, I mean, just kind of eyeball it and puree it. I mean, I could just eat a bowl of this by itself. It's absolutely delicious. And yeah, the salsa here, again, you might, I went for more of a restaurant chip and dip salsa. You might go for more of a dry pico de gallo style. You might just go buy a jar of Frontera Verde salsa. You know, Frontera shit's totally fine. Rick Bayless. We love Rick Bayless. You might have a cat that's you're trying not to step on, even though they decided that right at your feet is the best place to relax right now, even though you're clearly not paying attention. Tony, is that where it's going to be? Why don't you go over there now? Why don't you go bother Chris? Okay, perfect. So normally I'd say, does have any questions, but otherwise, but it looks like we're just going to sign off. We got some delicious nachos. Go get some. Make yourself some. I will see you at Super Bowl 56. I'm showing up. I'm bringing a case of every flavor of Jarritos. We're going to have a non-alcoholic Jarritos party, a recovery party. It'll be like a big AA meeting in a party. It'll just be, you know, you'll love it. It'll be fucking great. So I'm Joe Riccio, and this is Coma, my 70s Kitchen.